This is the first ever solo episode of the Founders Pack podcast, Form Your Own Pack. And in this episode, it's episode 50 of what I'm now calling season 1. We're going to wrap season 1 with a review of all the great interviews we did. So just to recap, Founders Pack is a community of founders where we strive to have founders help other founders by looking for ways that they can partner, grow community to scale, and look for opportunities to share technology, talent, data, and relationships. And my forthcoming book, which will eventually come out, called Form Your Own Pack, is really tells the story of how I was inspired by the Japanese keiretsu to create Founders Pack, which basically models the Japanese keiretsu business model of cooperation between different business entities. That being said, the idea behind the Founders Pack, Form Your Own Pack podcast was to interview founders of scalable startups and venture capitalists, angels, and other investors in scalable startups, and learn from them, one, how they solve problems and start their companies, two, the most important advice they have for other founders, and three, the role of community and partnerships in their success. And in doing so, we got to interview some really neat and interesting startups from YCombinator, Techstars founders, Hustle Fund, venture capitalists, and angel investors. And it's really tough to pick favorite episodes. One of the best episodes is the first episode with Sam Parr, formerly of The Hustle and now of the My First Million podcast. Sam, we kicked things off and he talked about his venture investing in 70 different companies over time and how the key to his entire success has been the ability to cold outreach to people that look like customers or partners, and his ability to partner. And he has a closed group of people that they communicate via chat. And you probably know someone like Sahil Bloom and his co-host in the My First Million podcast, Sean Puri, who, man, it would be great to have Sean on season 2. So we'll have to work on that. So this was an excellent episode. Check out episode 1 in the archives of our podcast. Episode 2 featured Colin Elsinga from Metroport. And this got Colin that he's a YCombinator founder. Entering the YCombinator class, we got to talk to Colin the day before he entered YCombinator. Since this time in June of 2022, Metroport, I believe, has raised $2.5 million. So this is a great success story of a Canadian entrepreneur. Furkan Aris, who we've had a continuing ongoing relationship with Furkan. We talked to Furkan of the Techstars company Spiky AI, which is a group of MIT data scientists building AI for basically video, audio, and text sentiment. And they have a really interesting platform and big things coming from them. And they're going to be pitching, it sounds like, in one of our March or February Stonks online pitch events in 2023. We're excited to see that. And they're going to be raising another round of capital. Sliding over to episode 4, featuring James McRoot of Payload CMS. We got to talk to James before they also entered YCombinator. And since that time, Payload has announced, I believe, $4.5 million in funding. So that was excellent. Lisa Velarde of Dealey in episode 5 was, this is another great episode. A founder that was a previous, I think 2017 class, I believe, if you go back and look, of YCombinator and their success with Dealey. Not to skip over, we talked to Che Voigt of Altwork in episode 6, which have some interesting office, ergonomic office chair. It sounds, I'm not doing it justice. This thing is like a chair from space, and the success they've had through crowdfunding. Eric Anon of Aya Gigs, which is impacting gig work in Africa. Our good friend Sean Flynn, investment banker and host of the Silicon Valley podcast, and now also our partner in Founders Pack, as well as through our partnership with Sean, we're working with Bay Angels on events in 2023 and cross-promoting of content. So we're excited. This was just, as usual, an excellent episode with Sean. We talked to Catherine Cross in episode 9 of Anja Health, and Catherine is both a successful TikTok influencer and a YCombinator founder with Anja Health, who are basically, I can't remember how much they've raised, but She has over 134,000 followers on TikTok and was in the winter 2022 YCombinator cohort. And they have raised money for Anja Health, which basically freezes stem cord blood for future uses in medical, kind of medical insurance in a sense for yourself with stem cord blood. Interesting. We talked in episode 10 with David Waxman, formerly of Firefly and People PC, and now a very successful venture capitalist. This was an excellent episode. We really appreciate talking to David. In episode 11, this was super interesting. YCombinator founder Ben Alva, co-founder of Maverick Bioworks, during their YCombinator cohort, they were building a platform that would extract lithium from previously unextractable sources. For example, in Texas, there are rocks that normally you can't have it, but they creating a bioorganism from their platform that would essentially eat everything that's not lithium and leave the lithium behind. Very, very interesting. Episode 12, check out Arosha Brower, CEO and co-founder of Quan, a female fintech founder. David Meltzer, our good friend, speaker, author, entrepreneur, and co-founder of Sports One Marketing, and the 2-minute pitch, the 2-minute drill, and the elevator pitch TV shows. Venture capitalist and an angel investor, as well as a founder himself. Lots jam-packed into a short episode there. David Lambert was episode 14 with Right Side Capital Management, a very successful VC that we want to keep an eye on. And then JJ Casper, founder of Blue Collective, another investment group. Episode 16 featured the man, the myth, the legend, Will Porteous. And this is no joke. Like, he is the OG venture capitalist of New York City, general partner and CEO of RRV Ventures. And not to be outdone, episode 17 was Cindy Padnos, founder of Illuminate Ventures, Silicon Valley venture capitalist, very successful female venture capitalist, one of the earliest VCs that was a female. So that was a very, very interesting and inspiring episode 17. Check out episode 18 with Lance Cottrell, angel investor, entrepreneur, and startup mentor. Episode 19 featured the infamous Andre Soroker of Fogbender, also a YCombinator cohort company. I think he has been a previous YCombinator startup as well. So that was really interesting to learn from Andre. Episode 20 was David Dietrich, founder of Creator Films. This was a little bit different from other episodes in that Creator Films is a Christian-based film company that raised funds through crowdfunding. And it was very interesting, or raised funds through crowdfunding and created family-friendly content by going an alternate capital raise. Episode 21 was Ethan Austin, founder of Outside Venture Capital. That was great to talk to him. Episode 22 is Drew Amato, and we should have Drew back because Drew is the co-founder of Mullybox, a custom box for golfers. But as I noticed also, and maybe in season 2 we can talk about this, Drew is a partner in a venture capital firm that we need to go back and talk to him about. Episode 23 you should check out, which was Abby Sastry, co-founder of Fluix. And Fluix makes a really interesting cooling technology for towers, computer towers, that is used by, I believe, gamers, but also, I believe, by miners, like Bitcoin miners. Episode 24. This was our good friend. I don't know how we got the episodes mixed up here. We might have been missing a 25. I think we went back into 25. That's what it was. So episode 24 was featuring venture capitalist Ashmeet Sidna of Engineering Capital, and very unique take on venture capital from Engineering Capital and how he looks for companies that start from the premise of a unique engineering capability, something technical that's very, very hard that other companies cannot do. So that's who he invests in. We talked in episode 26, technically. I think this is just an editing thing. Episode 26 with Maya Manel, who is founder of Navit, which is a female-first fintech application. Very interesting getting women to invest. We didn't realize it may be the time, but episode 27 was epic. Matteo Francischetti of Sleep Aid. Sleep Aid has raised $176 million. They were a YCombinator company from 2015. Phenomenal story, phenomenal person to learn from. Check out that episode. Sean Drost, co-founder of Phoenix Hydrogen, creating a marketplace for hydrogen in episode 25. So I think they was just temporarily lost, and we went back and edited and got this posted. So that's why it's kind of a little bit out of order there. We talked to Adar Hay from Giga, and Adar, that was another excellent episode in episode 28. He was part of YCombinator's Winter 21 cohort, and he shared his experience and the success of Giga platform for engineers to purchase manufactured parts in an efficient, cost-effective way. So kind of a vertical marketplace that didn't exist before. We talked to Sowen Shah, who's been a judge on our Winner Takes All pitch events in the past, and he's an angel investor and co-founder of InstaLend, which is a unique mortgage securities company. We talked to Patrick Bryan, who is teaching software developers to think like entrepreneurs with code and trust. And then episode 31, we met Smeety from Advantage Club. And this is a benefits platform through Advantage Club. And they're a Y Combinator startup as well. So that was exciting to talk to Smeety. That was an excellent episode that you should check out. Woo! All right. So that got us up to September. In September, we talked again then to Camion founder Berkay Adlim and Camion, which means truck. They're a summer of 22 Y Combinator cohort company. And they basically have a trucking platform application, software application that helps carriers scale their fleet through optimized dispatch. And this, if you've ever been in that industry, you know is a big problem. We had Stacy Book's Frequency Machine, which is a content-driven platform that helps people, encourages people to go. It's original content here in Los Angeles. She's based out of, and not that I'm in Los Angeles, but I'm close to Los Angeles in Newport Beach. And it's basically to inspire and drive commerce around travel. Episode 34 was Luni Libes, which is the founder and managing director of Fledge Accelerator in Africa Eats, his nonprofit. This was a very, very interesting episode as well, a little bit different, more of a social entrepreneur. However, he's an entrepreneur, author, mentor, advisor, and an impact investor. And just Africa Eats. Fledge is really interesting out of Seattle, but Africa Eats was a holding company with a diverse set of African food ag companies. That this is a really interesting story that you would want to look into. Truck is another, I believe these guys were in Y Combinator or they're Techstars. I think they might have been Techstars. But Truck is basically an operating system for short haul and intracity third-party logistics in Africa. So we met Williams Fateo. This was referred to by another guest. This was an excellent episode. Doug Doan, one of my favorite episodes, again, Hivers and Strivers Angel Group. This is a veteran-first angel group that invests in military veterans who become entrepreneurs with outsized returns, including Black Light Rifle Coffee Company, which you might know the story of them. Lease Lock and Independence Hydrogen is a very interesting story. So check out Doug Doan in episode 36. And that brought us up to, this was the only sad part I had of my experience, because somehow I lost the video file of this. But the great Ben Wilson, who is the host of How to Rule the World podcast, and he is the producer of Top Business Podcast, My First Million. So relating it back to Sam Parr, he is Sam's producer of that podcast. It was an audio only episode, but nonetheless was still excellent. We talked to Jocelyn Kang from Notex, who are a summer batch Y Combinator company. She is the CTO of Notex, and this is a company to really keep your eye on and watch what they're doing at Notex. We talked to Jared Steele, the Terrashroom founder. We met Jared through Stonks.com on a pitch event that he was on, where he's developed an intelligent mushroom grow chamber. You can imagine what that is for, including those in Silicon Valley that are microdosing, being able to have a little chamber that's computer, environmental controlled, and people can grow kind of their own mushrooms basically through that. Morgan Tate, another Canadian entrepreneur with Deal Builder. Deal Builder is basically a marketplace where you can buy and sell everyday businesses. So helping people buy boring businesses. Stephen G, who's a longtime venture capitalist in Silicon Valley. He had quite a storied career, shared his experience. He is the VC behind Eastlink Capital. Haytal Parekh in episode 43. She has basically Energy Yields is like a marketplace for green tech and green credits, I think, for building buildings or renovating buildings so that they are green compliant. There's a lot of money you can unlock through Energy Yields as a result of her platform and becoming compliant. So once again, this is an instance where we went back and we did our episode. I don't know how we got the numbers mixed up between Jared and our Stonks episode, but this is on October 26th. We announced the first partnership discussion with Tom from stonks.com, who are a good partner. We are running our first series of 12, not 4, but 12 online pitch events this year on the stonks.com platform. It is a demo day platform for venture capitalists and accelerators. So in 2023, we will run our pitch events on the Stonks platform. The benefit of that is, we typically do winner takes all pitch events where it's gamified, and startup founders, they stake $100 on their pitch, and then typically the winner of the 5 startups that are pitching, 3 judges take the pot as kind of a gamified way to bet on yourself. But now all the startups will be able to actually raise funds through the Stonks SPV, I guess it's called a special purpose vehicle, because the events are on the Stonks platform. So that's really exciting. Lucas Timberlake, episode 44. So we get back to the correct numbering. Lucas Timberlake is basically a venture capitalist from FinTech Ventures, and he talks about his investment philosophy and companies he is investing in. James Sinka has raised $80 million for the Orange Fund, and this is a DAO, a distributed autonomous organization that basically runs through smart contracts on the blockchain. And that $80 million investment fund is comprised of YCombinator alumni investing in blockchain-related companies. We met our old friend, our good friend, Daryl Frater, from Visible Hands VC, but he was a previous Winner Takes All founder where he pitched our previous pitch events. So this is great to catch up with Daryl, who has switched from founder to funder. Check out that episode and how they're investing in underrepresented founders in different communities. Brian Daly from Ground Floor, they've done significant raise through crowdfunding, I believe, on Republic or Wefunder. And they also, Wefunder, I apologize, not Republic. And he talks about how they have basically democratized real estate lending and allowing individual investors to take fractional investment in real estate loans. So whether that's like fix and flip or other short-term development loans that have a high rate of return, they've really unlocked something that was previously, only available to like PE firms or hedge funds. Just Laying Brick with a new type of VC in Tennessee, in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Can Duty, a brickyard. They've funded 17 startups who moved for a year to Tennessee. So it's like after they get initial product market fit, brickyard companies move to Tennessee, live in an absolutely fabulous location for a year, working on scaling their business. This was a really, really interesting episode, and you've probably seen a lot of the clips out. And then not last, not least, was episode 49 with Amber Illig from the Council, which was is a female angel investing group, but now is also a $5 million fund. And this is a fund that is comprised of female operators investing in startups. And that is a summary of all the crazy interviews and the crazy interesting people that we met. YCombinator founders, Techstars founders, crowdfunders from Wefunder and Republic. We met people from Hustle Fund. We met people that have just started their raise, and other people that have raised 176 million with Sleep 8, for example. We've learned about new technology, and then we met investors, including some legendary investors like Sidney Padnos and Will Porteous. And we look forward to season 2, where we're going to do some really cool stuff in season 2. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to have one more episode that is a solo episode after this, episode 51. Now that we've recapped what's in season 1 and everything we did in Founders Pack in 2022, I'm going to do another episode for you that basically will say what is Founders Pack 2023 and beyond, what to expect if you are, not just a free subscriber to the Substack, but now a premium subscriber where you will see 3 founder profiles a week, including their pitch decks. So not only will you see interviews with them, but you'll see 3, fundable startups and their pitch decks. You're going to see 60 companies that will pitch on our winner takes all pitch events through Stonks. And actually, we got to release. That's the thing that we did winner takes all pitch events, and we have to put the videos out. So I will do that as well. We will do that as part of wrapping season 1. So you'll see the pitch events from 2022. But then for 2023, we will talk about what to expect as far as becoming a Founders Pack member, the founders small group dinners in various cities like New York, LA, San Francisco, and Miami. You will find out about certain private Ask Me Anythings that we're going to arrange for members only, and more and more and more. 2023 looks really, really exciting and promising. So check out episode 51. In the meantime, take a look back at all the episodes that we had over 2022, episodes 1 through 49. This is episode 50. Thank you so much for all of your support through crazy times with Founders Pack. We are really, really excited for the future. If you are a founder or an investor, we are actively growing a community of founders and investors and scalable startups who want to help founders to grow through community and partnerships. And if that is you, we would love to meet and talk to you in person, whether that's by Zoom or at an in real life event. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for checking out this episode. Please go back and check out all the episodes from this past season. They are only 12 to 15 minutes. They are jam-packed full of interesting information from real life tier 1 founders and investors. And season 2 is only going to get better.